Good morning, everyone. This is our weekly Tuesday live. We missed last week, my fault, but sorry, Risha. Okay, but we're back
We're back.
and we are talking basically all things interior design, running a business. We do these lives weekly and we kind of just tell you guys what's happening, sort of the messy middle of what's going on.
Hey, hi. I'm a little sore. I fell down the stairs at my client's house on Friday. I just missed a step. I'll get better. What are you gonna do? It hurts, and then you get over it.
Well, you look good. I
Thank
wouldn't
you.
have known if you didn't say anything.
Yeah, it happens. Stuff on sites, on job sites, when you're at clients' homes happens that you don't expect. They were so gracious. I mean, I ended up sitting there for an extra half an hour, icing my arm, my back,
Oh, no.
head. That's what life is, unexpected. Just like in when you're doing construction, unexpected.
So what's happening? I have like some stuff going on.
Yeah, what's your lead in here?
Well, I am in the thick of setting up this showroom, bringing in partners, figuring this all out. We did the demo, we start painting. So now we're really just trying to finalize all of our partners who we're using for appliances. We have our flooring partners, like everything that we're bringing in, and then also meeting with builders at the same time to let them know who we are, what we're doing, and try to get some new clients and business is really what's we're doing.
Well, that's fantastic. So what is the timeline on your construction?
So we're targeting to be open in October. So we have like 3 months. That's the goal. We'll do like a soft opening in October and we'll have the whole front, like all the main areas completed. Then probably by December, have the whole entire space done. That's ideally the goal. Hopefully in the next week or two, we'll finish painting and then we can start and then we can put the floors in. And then once the floors are in, then it's just a matter of just we're
Building up.
building all the millwork and yes, we're building everything in our shop here. So then we'll have a blank slate and then we can start bringing things in. So it's exciting.
Yeah. So tell me what sort of things are you gonna offer? Like, why would someone come there?
We offer full service interior design, but also the main thing that we offer is custom millwork. I feel like, especially after having a lot of meetings recently, most people don't really get what custom millwork is because a lot of companies advertise that they do custom cabinetry and custom millwork, but really they're just ordering prefab cabinets and putting them together. So it's more semi-custom. They're not actually producing them and the quality isn't good. The quality is cheap and the pricing is expensive. So what we can do is we have our own workshop here where we physically design, build, and finish everything right here locally in Naples. So we can be a great resource for not only clients, but builders and contractors, other designers for their clients. They can send us a drawing, we'll price it for them. And then we have our own installers that work for the company. So we don't sub it out. So not only can we do work in Florida, but also we can do anywhere along the East Coast. So if you need cabinets, I can price them for you and we can drive it up and install it.
Right. Okay,
Yeah.
fantastic. So does that allow me then to do any kind of design, etc., any kind of style? Like, what about Uber Modern? Are you guys covering
Yeah.
that as well?
I'm actually pricing out for another contractor's showroom. He wants like modern high gloss cabinets. So we can do anything. We have all the different machines. We're doing a curved island, libraries, offices, entertainment centers, bars, wine rooms, like you name it. We can do it all custom. And you're getting great material. The pricing is very competitive. I mean, as you know, once COVID happens and all of the pricing for like the stock and semi-custom companies like went up 30 and 40%, that gap between custom and like stock and semi, like that gap's been closing. We can really offer super competitive pricing.
So you feel, yeah, yeah. So, and it's made in America and it's an American company and so are you trying to source like American pieces? Like, there's so many other parts that go into the
Yeah, like
cabinet.
we have like all the hardware we use for like the interior drawer mechanisms and things like that. Other companies that are made in America, and we love working with other small businesses. So that's the goal.
So, yeah. So when we're talking millwork, we're talking about bookcases, tins, and cats.
Yes, we're gonna actually have a banquette in our showroom.
I love me a good banquet.
Yes.
Chaises, those are on the top of my
We can do
list.
Murphy beds. I think we're gonna do a pull down with a Murphy bed.
Okay, great.
Yeah, my business partner was like, "We have every room, but we don't have a bedroom, so let's do a Murphy bed." Like,
Yeah, Murphy
we're
bed is
really gonna
great.
get everything into this 1,300 square feet as we possibly can.
Yeah, seriously. I mean, a Murphy bed. I
Yeah,
like it.
yeah. So, you'll have to come
Well,
down and visit once we're done.
I will come down and visit. I will definitely.
Yeah, so we're in the thick of all that right now.
Great. That's so exciting.
And I signed on a new client yesterday.
Oh, great.
Yes, this one is for a realtor that lives in my community. He has a house that he's going to be listing, which needs some TLC to get their maximum return on their money. So
Right.
I'm going to come in and,
Zhuzh
we
it up.
can zhuzh it up, make some changes. I'll be working on that also in the next couple of weeks. So that's
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I love that. I love, I did that a lot more. I'm kind of cutting back on that because it can dig into the time that I want to put on full projects, but it's kind of like a do it yourself where
yeah.
go in, it's amazing what can happen over the course of like 2, 4 hours of you just going and using existing pieces and moving it around, making it more welcoming, more open. And then, sometimes you need to supplement, like, okay, we need something here or a piece there or whatever. But it's fun because it's a quick transformation. It's not this drawn out project, which can take 4 to 6 months.
Right. Yeah. It's no major construction. It's really just, some furnishings, accessories are really,
Right.
sticking in. So, and it's right in my community, literally like right down the street. So it's super convenient.
Yeah, it's fun to see the transformation. I was just kind of we were finishing a photo shoot or something. Well, no, styling for the photo shoot, which was gonna happen the following week. I was just making sure the art and everything was in place and all the knickknacks were like you still have to move things, when you do a photo shoot because what comes across on the camera is not the same thing as what comes across when looking at it with your eye and things look disoriented.
Yeah.
But we weren't doing the dining room, but I looked over the dining room like, "Oh my god, that shelf just needs a couple of things." And so I just like literally I just moved things around and my assistant was like, "Oh my god, you did magic, Risha." I'm like she's like, "You didn't take anything away.
Yeah.
You didn't add anything." I'm just like, "Yeah, it's about grouping and creating these vignettes, these little like stories on a
Yeah.
bookcase." And
And the
then
spacing is so important.
yeah.
The spacing is so important.
Yeah, totally. And you know what was really funny in this photo shoot that we did the following week? I was looking at the photo and we're doing it at the living room. You can catch them on my Instagram. They're coming out soon. We were looking at the coffee table and I had 3 stacks of books because my clients love books. I'm like, there's just like, they're too symmetrical. Like it just doesn't, it looks contrived. So I split one here and push two over there, go back to the camera, looking at it. The cat jumps up, sits in the space and looks phenomenal. It was our photo. Like, because it's a beautiful, like, I forget what kind of cat it is. It's a beautiful cat. It looks so beautiful. Like, that actually made the photo because all of a sudden it came alive. Like, people are living in here. But it was just funny because I created space and then, like, the beauty came. It
Yeah.
was really funny. Yeah, it's my
Exactly.
favorite photo. Yeah.
Well, that's good.
So that's good. That's a good client.
Yeah, so I'm excited about that. But it was interesting because when we went to meet with the client yesterday, the clients wanted to be there and me and the realtor were doing a walkthrough, but you could tell like they're very attached to the stuff in the house. And they were like, well, why do we have to take that down? Like they're, very attached, but they
Right.
moved out, like they're not living in it there,
Okay.
which makes it easier. But I had to basically, have a gentle conversation with them about once you decide to put your house on the market, you got to think of it as it's not my house anymore
Yeah, exactly.
because we have to really kind of neutralize this space. So when people walk in, they can envision them in the space and we want it to feel welcoming. And if it's too specific,
Right.
then you're going to kind of turn people away.
Yeah. And
So
also,
it's a little hard for them to take at first, but I think they eased into it a little
well,
bit.
exactly. And there's a difference between designing for interior design and then prepping it for like staging
Exactly.
it. Because you with interior design, you want people, and I tell people this all the time, look at you want to create a room, a space where people are drawn to come and stay in the space. So the pathways, you might have to scooch a little bit on a pathway. Like you don't want to have this 4-foot pathway just because it's easy, because the amount of time you actually spend on that pathway and you don't have this could take away from your actual living space. And you're better off like, okay, we'll make it smaller. So you're better to take away the space from the pathway and create a nicer, like sitting, living, use functional area, and then make it little like, but if you're staging, you want people to feel like they're able to walk through the space. They can envision it. They're not coming in to sit down. They're not going to sit down. They're just looking at, I can fit a couch here. You can do bigger walkways, bigger spaces.
Yeah.
I don't know if you have that, but I get clients that, well, I need a lot of space to walk through. I'm like, how many times are you walking through this place? And like when you actually walk, and then what do? You sit down in the room for what, 3 hours? And it took you 20 seconds to walk through. Like you don't need, if you don't have the space, like if you have the space for grand walkways, that's one thing. But if you don't have the space,
Well, this is Florida, so all our spaces are big.
that's true. This is Jersey where, we
I
got old
remember
homes.
my Brooklyn house was so small, but
Right.
we do have a lot of space here. But one of the things was I was telling them like when you open the front door, like that's where you either get people or you turn them off. Like
Yeah.
from the minute they walk in the door, right? So in their entryway, I mean, they didn't really have anything inviting happening, but they had like a very small table with a mirror above it, but the mirror was hung so high you can't even see yourself in it. Like, the top of the mirror went above the doorway, and in Florida, we have 8-foot doorways.
Right.
He wanted to leave the mirror, and I was like, "Well, I would just replace it." I'm like and he's like, "Why?" And I'm like, "Well, for one, it's too high, like, you can't see yourself in it."
What was it reflecting? The opposite wall? Like, I don't understand. Okay, people, when you hang a mirror, think about what it's reflecting. Please. Like, come on. This is the tip here. It's a tip.
Yeah, it's
Think
just
about what you're reflecting when you hang a mirror. Is it the opposite wall? And if it's the opposite wall, is it really that interesting?
no, it was just wrong. I would just take it down and put a new mirror that's wasn't so stylized, but whatever. I will make the changes.
Yes, you will. And you can have
We gotta have a whole
abdominal
5-minute
drop.
conversation about why the mirror being so high that you can't see yourself
Right.
in is a bad thing.
Well, it's building trust with your
Exactly.
client.
It was the first time I met them, and by the end of the appointment, 45 minutes later, they had signed on, and
My goodness,
so
that's
they were
good. I just was working with a new client yesterday. 3 hours later, she has a small house that she's looking at building out, reimagining, redoing the floor plan, and there's a lot of opportunity there to create a space that she really loves. And, it's not when you get into that space planning, which I love,
yeah.
you really have to spend time thinking about it. And like I said to her, I'm sorry I took up so much time. But if you don't understand your client, if you don't understand their needs, their function, their lifestyle, which takes some time, then it's impossible to really create a great layout for them. So,
So was this your initial consultation, or they
yeah,
already signed on as a client?
no, initial consultation. Yeah.
Good.
So it's like, okay, so this is, trying to figure it out what she wanted and giving her some ideas. And, then I get involved in it. And before I know it, it's like 3 hours later, I'm like, shit.
Yeah.
Because there's even in that smaller of the space, I mean, it's just, okay, now we have opportunity to grow. Where are you gonna put your funds? Where are you gonna put the energy and the time to really create? I mean, everything has to go. New bathrooms, new kitchen, adding an addition because there's a space out back, connecting the two. So from the front space to the back guest, connecting that. Okay, how does that look? It's fun. It's fun because I like puzzles. It's like a puzzle. How do the pieces fit?
Yeah, that's fun.
Yeah. So we'll be working together. But she's doing it the right way. People out there want a tip, do it the right way. Call me in sooner. Call Elizabeth in sooner. That's it. So easy to move things around right now. If she had, come to me in 6 months where she's like, well, I'm starting this and, construction, the permits are based here. I'm like, there's no opportunity for me to help improve the layout. Now, all I can do is improve the functionality within the spaces, but there's great opportunity here. And like architects are great. They figure out how to design these boxes, but where sometimes they don't have the expertise because it really isn't their expertise is figuring it out sort of from the inside out. Like, how does the space actually work? Yeah, you put a table there, you put chairs there, but is that really the best functioning space? And they'll plot, I don't know if you've had that with architects, but they plot, furnishings and stuff in the space. And then when you look at it, it's like, yeah, this table looks like it fits here, but it's only 30 inches wide and there's only 2 feet between the table edge and the back and the wall. That's not enough space. So it's great because she's pulled me in.
Yeah.
We can get going and all these decisions will be made before we even go for a quote. We're not getting an estimate. Now we're getting a quote because we'll be saying, this is what we want here. This is what we want here. We want tile here. We want, LVT or hardwood floors. So the quotes can be exact versus, well, we're doing this. And we're not really sure what we're doing yet.
Right.
Then we're just getting an estimate.
Yeah, because then the contractor will just price them with like allowances. So you really have no idea what you're really going to be spending when you get a quote. Yeah. Yeah. So definitely better to get the interior designer from the beginning. They can work
Absolutely.
on the floor plans with you, with the architect, make your revisions with you. You could price it out with the contractors and the builders. And it just makes the process more streamlined, seamless, saves time, and it's going to save you money in the long run because you're going to know exactly what you're spending and you're not going to be wasting
Exactly.
architect time doing a million revisions.
And you're going to go in, you go in with this quote from or this estimate from a builder, and then you're like, but I want this cabinet and that, and it's cha-ching, 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 keeps adding up. Where
Yeah,
you're thinking, oh, I only was going to spend 150,000, but you didn't account for the fact that you want a different cabinetry because they're like, okay, we're just doing builder grade,
exactly.
there's special hardware, you want built-ins in the all that kind of stuff. Well, we can do so much of that beforehand. And then, so what do you do? So then she was like, well, I only have this much amount of money. I'm like, yeah, I get it. And this is the way I work. I'd love to know how you work with it, Elizabeth, but I say, let's design it exactly with everything that you want. Get a quote and then say, okay, now we're 50 over budget, 75, 20 over budget or whatever. And then we can start saying, okay, where can we cut? Like, what things can you give up? If we give up, if we give up this large built-in pantry, how much do we save? Oh,
Right.
well, you can save 20,000 by, doing that different without a door and blah, blah, blah. Okay. So are you now willing to give up the pantry? And then it becomes a conversation. Okay. Like rarely does it work out that my clients say, oh, that's it. Let's put more, like they never say that. Nobody ever says that.
All right.
Well, so how do you work with that when you're working with clients? Do you go to like sort
Yeah,
of
I guess it depends, but for the most part, yeah, we'll price it out. Like I'm trying to think like the custom home that I finished recently, like for the kitchen, like they knew they wanted insect cabinets, they knew they wanted certain type of appliances, obviously more high ticket items, right? So we designed it how we wanted, sent the kitchen out to be bid, and the pricing was worked out, so we didn't really need to cut anything for
okay?
that. But then sometimes when I'm working with a limited budget, I'll from my conversations with them decide, okay, well, we can splurge on this and maybe save a little bit here. So I'll kind of go into it like reining it in a little to kind
Right.
of fit more in line with the budget, and then we'll price it out and then based on what comes back make some adjustments. But that's also too why having a designer is so important, because we can guide you on where to splurge versus where to save,
Right.
not compromise the vision, but also to achieve everything you want aesthetically and functionally. And an architect and a contractor is just not going to do that for you because that's really not their expertise. We're there to get to know you and understand like how you need the house to
Yeah.
function. We get to know in depth about you and your family, and how you need to live, that way we can help you make those decisions. So, sometimes clients will contact me, and I've had this with someone yesterday, just kind of like, well, how much do you charge? I want to do this, this, and this. It's like, I really need to come meet you and
Yeah,
come into the space, like to give you an accurate price, because you may think you want one thing, but then when we realistically talk about numbers and figures and how much you want
exactly.
to invest, then maybe like putting that outdoor kitchen is not really realistic, because doing an outdoor kitchen here, you're gonna spend at least 25, $30,000 doing an outdoor kitchen.
Right.
And I feel like people really don't have the idea of what things actually cost. So,
No.
maybe
No, when I started giving her some numbers for a bathroom
uh,
and the kitchen,
don't have idea how.
her experience is from, I think, 2008 when she redid a kitchen last, and she's like, "I got these huge slabs of marble and blah, blah, blah." I'm like, "Totally understandable." Now a kitchen, I mean, I'm just doing a small 14 by 14 kitchen. Construction all in is running about 65,000, 70,000.
Yeah, well,
And that's medium quality cabinets, good quality cabinets, but not high end. And it's a beautiful quartz, but it's just the price of pulling all those pieces together. And it's not like you
and all
don't,
the labor
and the labor. And it's not like
people
you
don't realize.
you don't need something in the kitchen. Like, okay, well, we'll do without the stove. Well, it's just not possible. Like, you need the
Yeah,
counter space, you need the storage space, you want, the dishwasher, the stove, the fridge, the sink. Fit that in somewhere.
yeah, the appliances alone, like
Fi-
20,000 and up.
yeah, easy.
That's on the low, very low.
Yeah. So
Um,
So
enough.
we should just trying to figure out for her, okay, like, let's just go forward, which is, why we spent 3 hours, because it's also educating. If
Yeah,
you haven't done construction lately, you're not going to understand. I mean, I'm still blown away by the pricing when I start, because it's like, oh, hmm, like that was that like 3 years ago, and it's not that anymore.
yeah.
So if you think it's expensive now and you're like, "Oh, we'll just wait," it
No.
ain't gonna be any cheaper in 6 months or a year or 2 years, I tell you that. Just do it now. And
Yeah,
you know what? You can write all that off. If you do a bathroom, you do a kitchen, when you go to sell your home, that's gonna be deducted. It's gonna be capitalizing against your capital gains.
yeah.
So you might as well spend the money and enjoy your space and,
And you can always get your money back when you make those kind of renovations to your home.
absolutely.
It's gonna only help you when you sell it, and you'll get more money in your sales price.
Right. And then you can write off those deductions, but know that you have lived and really enjoyed your space, more importantly. Like, this is about creating a
Yeah,
great life, and support the environment is built to support that.
yeah,
You're working really hard. You spent lots of money on your home already. And when you're like, it makes no sense that, like, oh, well, we just have to kind of do this over here. And then you scuttle over like this and put your arm up and put your leg down, and then you can get in there. And, that kind of stuff is crazy, especially when you're talking about kitchens and bathrooms, which are highly functional spaces in the home. Like, you want them to be efficient, you want them to work, and you want them to be beautiful. You're
yeah.
going to be in it. You're going to be in it.
I mean, I don't know about you, but, like, I love being home.
Yes. I
So,
agree.
like, because I'm, like, busy all week and I'm working and I'm running around for appointments, like, when the weekends comes, if I don't have, like, a party or something to go to, like, I like being home on the weekends. I like
Hmm.
my backyard and my pool and just relax in my house, because I've created that environment that I want to be in all the time.
Right.
And that's, I think, what a lot of homeowners are missing, and they don't realize they're missing it until they have actually experienced it.
Yeah.
But you
Agreed.
really do feel very welcomed and at peace in
Yes,
your
you
home
do.
when you walk in the front door. Like, that's the way
Exactly.
everyone should feel. And if you don't feel that way, then it can be changed. You can
Absolutely.
create that environment, and that's what we're here to do.
Right. Absolutely. Why wouldn't you want it to support you? You're going to be spending time there, and
Yeah.
make it work for you. You've already spent enough money on this home, and you're paying for it every month, and your taxes and your insurance.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
I
it's so crazy, but I go into so many houses and I see, like, people spend all the money on the house, but then they don't have any
nothing to
furniture
enjoy.
or
Yeah,
the right furniture, or they moved it from, like, an old apartment or a
right.
different house, and it's just, and they know that it doesn't look right and it doesn't feel right and it's not comfortable.
There's not enough light, so they like don't use the room. big one in Jersey because, of course, we have older homes, and a lot of the older homes don't have overhead lighting.
Yeah.
So people are like, "Oh, well, it's too dark. We don't use that room." Oh,
Let's put in some lighting.
let's put in some lighting. Exactly. Yeah. Yes. Well, that's what interior designers do. That's what we do. That's what we think about literally all the time. How to create these beautiful spaces.
Exactly.
I'm very blessed. I'm like in this beautiful spot where I have nature surrounding me. I'm really close to a reservation, etc. So we've created this, we've got these boxes that we live in that are very disconnected from nature. So somehow we have to bring that outside in, and we do that with, color, pattern, dimension, texture. And really, the inspiration is from nature because if you go out into a forest, a jungle, and even in the sand dunes, there is shape and form and color and texture that is beautiful. So beautiful. Like, how do we bring that into these square boxes that have absolutely no personality, that, are hard and cold?
I think that sums it up for this week.
I guess so. Yeah, we got lots to say as usual. See you next Tuesday. Thanks so much.
See you guys Tuesday. Have a great day. Bye.